Okay, go ahead.
So my second question for you is, can you think of specific tools or resources that IEP teams should maybe consider so that they can strengthen collaboration, particularly with students and families from diverse cultural or economic conditions?
Sure, and that's important because in a proliferation of information age, where do we go when we need some direct help? And so the first place I would point folks to is the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education's RLO, called Understanding the Impact of Poverty on Student Outcomes, to the particular section on building family and community partnerships. There are some really good strategies there in that resource. The Department of Elementary and Secondary Education also provides a family and community engagement sites link on their website called Family Engagement Resources, and there is a treasure trove of resources there to connect with national networks of parents and families, and also national communities of culturally and linguistically diverse learners and families.
That's great.
A couple more.
Sure.
Is the Center for Applied Linguistics, called CAL in Washington, D.C., dedicates itself to research and practice to improve the lives and the outcomes for culturally and linguistically diverse learners. And they have a recent resource published to address the issue of access to equitable learning for English language learners. And I think that's a really important resource, particularly because current practice in the intersection of current practice in special education and English learner education resides at the point where there is a question whether or not about a particular learning behavior. So when an English learner is demonstrating a certain behavior or the lack of a certain expected behavior, should we attribute that to a learning disability or to the normal trajectory, a typical trajectory of language development? So the Center for Applied Linguistics is actually a great resource in that regard. The Southern Poverty Law Center publishes Teaching Tolerance. They have a variety of resources related to family and community engagement for culturally, linguistically, and ethnically diverse families. And then the last two, less specific, but they're always my go-tos in education, are the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, or ASCD, and Education Week are constantly churning out state-of-the-art, current best practices, evidence-based work in all practices of education. And there's a current focus at the national level with ESSA through related to English learners, so those would be good resources as well.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting because I think that these resources are also starting to come together where we're not so much as IEP team leaders or special educators looking to special resources. We're looking to the resources that we all share in common as educators.
That's right.
So it's exciting to see that kind of confluence come together.
Yeah.